So we have seen the alarm, so now we want to go to the tech archive. Maybe we go back to the alarms, I missed something. Again, we have a look at the alarms. You see there's another field here, and if you click on that one, you can use the
statistic,
the analysis functions, for example. So
That
if
sẽ
we click
ra.
on frequency, then we can use the grouping for the point of error, for example. And if we now refresh them, then we now get the results for the frequency analysis inside of the PM Analyze here. So you see point of error is unit 1, and we have 1,106 alarms on the unit 1. On unit 2, we have, for this time range, so for the current day, we have 1,088 alarms here. And if I select one of them, you see that the alarms in the list here are changing. And of course, you can do the same thing for all the other analysis here. Same thing if I change that one to another time range. So for example, for the current hour, refresh it again, then you see we receive some other alarm count, because now in this time range we just have, of course, less amount of alarms than for the whole day. But same thing here, if we select one of the point of error, so one of the groups, then the alarms here are changing. Right.
Dưới này là detail, content
Now
kia
we
là
can
tổng
go
hợp lại.
to the alarm and to the tech archives. If I select the tech archive, you see we not only have this one available, we also get another one. And here we can decide, if I click on that one, we can decide which text or which values, which data we want to display in a table or a diagram or whatever, so which data we want to display here. And in this case, we want to see the day availability in percent, for example. Right, so we select just one of them, for example. You have also an filtering criteria thing, so you can decide in which archive you want to search. If you have some groups, you can also use the grouping here, units, and also the type. So for example, if you are searching for the state tag, for example, then you can just select one of these types, and then you only receive all of the text which fits this filter. If you want to delete the filter, then just click on this icon here to delete the used filter. So for now, we want to see, for example, the day availability in percent, and then let's see if we receive any information here. So if we refresh that one, so now you see all the calculation results for the availability in percent as a table. So that means we have the archive, so in which archive is this information stored? It's in the tech archive. Which tag belongs to this value here, the timestamp of the value is of course the value, a unit if we have configured a unit here, and the state of the tag. So this is okay, and it's in gliding tag here, whatever. And we see this all the things in the list. If we do not want to see it in a list because process values we want to see in a diagram, for example, then we can click on this one here to change from a table to a diagram. And if we now click on refresh, then we see all of these values in a diagram. If we click on this icon here next to the tag name, we can have some more configurations of this curve or of this tag. So in the first step, we have the chart type, so we can decide which chart type we want to use for this tag. So depending on the information, of course, it makes sense to change the chart type here, so just for you to see how all of them look like. So the availability in percent we want to see as a line, for example, and we can also have the aggregation here for the availability in percent. It doesn't make sense for now, but we will do this for the temperature curve then, and we can also change the color here, for example. And at the right, we can also see some information about this tag. So we can also see the chart type directly without opening the configuration here. So we see the chart type here, and we can also change the chart type here. And we have the aggregation functions directly available for all of the text without opening the configuration configuration thing. So we can also group them, and so for example, that means we can have the, for example, the average of every minute, maybe not minute, maybe hour, because we have the sliding interval of 1 minute. But then we receive the one value for the current hour here. Yes, we do not have a huge amount of data at the moment, because we just start calculating this thing. That of course, if we have some more data, then we receive some more values here. But now we have directly an aggregation of this data here, and of course we can go back to ungroup, so to see the raw data again. And for example, now we do not want to see the day availability percent anymore. We want to see the temperature curve, so we can just go back to text and change the tag we want to see here, or the data we want to see here. And if we now refresh it, then it's loading, because we have some more data for this temperature curve. And after it is finished, we see all the data points we have available for temperature 1. So all the data we have stored in the tag archive. So what you can do here is, for example, you can zoom in. For that, you can just click on the left, or do a left click, hold the left click, and then just select the time range, and then you can zoom in inside of this diagram, so that you can see a specific thing here. And using this button, you can zoom out again, so that you can see the complete diagram again. And you can also have 2 or more curves in the same diagram. So for example, we have the temperature 1, and we have the day 1 availability here in percent, for example. Right. Another thing here inside of the PM Analyze, we can have the Gantt diagram. And for that, for the Gantt diagram, only the machine states are available. So only the text which are using states. So you see, after changing the type of Gantt chart, there's automatically a filter set for all states, because only for them we can use the Gantt diagram here. And if I select the text and click on refresh, then we see all the states for the current hour in the colors we have configured in the PM server. So same thing here, we can zoom in, for example, and then we see all of the information. If we just go with the mouse over one of these states, we can get some more information about it. So for example, for that one, we see the tag, so machine state 1. We see the state, so it was scheduled for production in the group productive, and it's the state running. And then we see the start and end time of this state here. Another thing we can do here is we can select it here, and if we do a right click, for example, then we have edit value, and if we click on that one, then we can change this value, so we can edit it. So at the moment we see no material is selected, so this state was no material, but maybe it's wrong or whatever, then we can change it to running, for example. We can add a comment, so it was the wrong state, for example, whatever. You can add insert and comment. You can change the timestamp for the comment, and if we now click on OK, then you see that the color of the state has changed, because we have changed the state, and you see that we have also added the comment. And you see the timestamp when the comment was created, and you see it was the wrong state, so we have changed it to the running state. So, another thing we can do is, for example, if I take that one here, do a right click, we can also split the state. So that means maybe the machine was not recognized, or PM server was not recognizing that we have a change of the state there or whatever. Then we're also able to split the state into multiple states. So you see the start time and the end time of this state, and we can now decide which time we want to split it into 2 different states. So by default it's the middle, but we can also change this one.
Hoặc là trình chưa tới, chưa thấy ứng dụng có thể ứng dụng được gì.
Mấy cái trend đó.
khó
Rồi archive.
khó
Archive mấy thông số mình process mình khó archive. Mình không có lưu mấy thông số đó à?
chưa thấy ứng dụng gì cả.
Tức là lưu rồi làm cái gì tiếp theo?
Vẽ dashboard, rồi lưu Excel và report và lên. Rồi cái này là cái state machine này thì có thể là ít ứng dụng nhưng mà